Now, good morning. How are you, people? We are back, the Space Junkies, the Hungarian team of two that we are coming back for some good news that hopefully you will enjoy, which is not only Starship, but we're trying to broaden our horizon with something else. So I'm Sabi, and I've got David here with me. No Felix yet, but one day, probably one day. Hi, David. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, neither me nor Sabi is Felix, but hopefully you will be satisfied with our
Yeah.
our performance today. And yeah, it's our regular Monday show as always. So if it's new for somebody, then please be welcomed for the first time.
And the good stuff that you can always meet Felix on Tuesdays and Fridays, because the good show is always delivered the good summary that what's going on in the space industry. So definitely make sure you tune in on every Tuesday and Friday for the regular shows. But for now, we're gonna talk about Starship, and then we're gonna cover a little bit of Dream Chaser and hopefully
Said
the dragon.
Sad voices.
Yeah.
Wah, wah,
But
wah.
after that, if we have enough time, that we're gonna cover a bit of the dragon reboost that the ISS just received, and it's a big milestone, I think, for the dragon team. So okay, without further ado, I think let's just kick it off, and we start with the well, first of all, we have some eye candy for you, because this is, I don't know if you're familiar with the astro photo of the day, and that's PF photography that's submitted and been chosen for that day's astrophotography. And I mean, last week we showed you Andrew McCarty's incredible shot. This is more wider, and I think that the heat trail of the Falcon 9 just looks a little bit nicer. But overall, I think the last week's photo was really, really, really neat. Um, there is no doubt about that. We've got another eye candy, and that's from NASA Spaceflight, and that's gonna be the 100th Falcon 9 booster. Whoop
Hmm.
whoop!
Yeah.
That's a big thing. That's a big thing. Big milestone as well.
Yeah,
Indeed.
so they reached this kind of quick. However, yeah, the the reusable rocket is so I don't know how many Falcons do they manufacturing these days or these years, but they are still under construction,
Hmm.
and I don't know which will be the latest one or last one, but yeah, they are continuing to
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
to building these nice first stages.
Yeah, definitely. They are the backbone, the real backbone of SpaceX at the moment, the workhorse.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always good to see that. Okay, enough of the eye candies. Let's just turn our attention towards Messi's. That's a great photo. Frodo. No, no,
Frodo.
no, no, no. That's a great photo from RGB aerial photography. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just we want to run through very quick on the different locations around Starbase. So that's the Messi's Outpost, which is the main testing complex of SpaceX down there at the Starbase. Of course, it's now still under reconstruction after Ship 36 anomaly. So they have to rebuild almost everything. But until everything is rebuilt for the next generation ships and boosters, of course, they are doing these structural and pressure tests with the different test articles. For example, with booster or B 18.1, but this not this one because they are finishing with that. We have talked about it last week, so we
Oh.
don't want to cover it again. Which is currently on this photo is the B 18.3, which is the newest test article, and it.
We have another photo from NASA space flight, and that shows the test.
Mhm.
Sorry, I just have to say loud.
Yeah, so that was the first, and if I'm correct, still the only test they have done with these new test articles. So it seemed quite normal and or nominal, as Johnny Spooker would say. And yeah, it was a regular structural pressure test or a
Mhm.
validation test for the first time. So actually, yeah, go on.
It looks pretty cool, to be honest. That there's the hot staging. There used to be hot staging ring, and now it's just frosty all the way to the top. That's a completely new sight, at least for me. I find it looking cool. Do you think it's gonna look? This is how the third generation booster gonna look like when it's completely filled.
Yeah, because which is now I say it's the main it's the methane tank, and
Uh
it
huh.
will be it will look like, if I'm correct, on the original booster, like totally the same or almost the same.
For me, it's still hard to understand that there is nothing protecting the top of the methane tank. Because
Yes.
this shows that there is nothing, no extra layer there.
Mhm.
So the flame's gonna hit right there.
Yeah, that's the point why it's so wide. I mean the frame, the hot staging ring frame is
Hmm.
so um, how to say, it's not so
Filled.
they
Yeah.
yeah, it's not so feel like
Huge
this.
gaps, yeah, and
Yeah,
spaces. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
they expect that the ship
This will
um
allow the flame
flames,
to
yeah,
leave
they will
easier.
that's
Hmm.
directing out
Yeah.
from the ship. And yeah, it's a good
Yeah, but
question
it's
whether
still
they
gonna
have.
keep hitting it. I know that the
Yeah.
center raptors are pointed outwards, but still. But I mean, this is the design, so I mean, if they are okay with it, we are
Mm.
okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, for fortune it's not our problem.
No, 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 definitely
But yeah,
not.
the first flight of the new generation ship, so both of the first and second stage will be quite interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that
We'll
was the
see.
first time they have done a test with this new article, and of course we don't have any news about it, but it's still intact and in one piece. So it shows that
Yeah.
the pressure test was successful, and yeah, they can move on for the next phase or next steps.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it.
Just a couple of you pointed out the green Rio Grande. Yeah, it's strange. It looks cool, but definitely strange. Okay. Um, the next probably we're gonna cover the Gigabay at Starbase.
Yeah.
They keep pouring that concrete, that poor concrete.
Yeah, they are doing it all around the clock, so they never stop. And yeah, the rumor has it that they just not following the Florida team, but maybe they will catch them up. Not so in just couple of
They will
months.
overtake them. Yeah,
Over
in
yeah,
terms.
yeah, maybe
Hmm.
they will overtake them if
Hmm.
they continue this pace.
Yep.
But yeah, as we can just compare the each week photos, especially from the RGB aerial photos, yeah, they are showing quite good progress all the time. So
Hmm.
yeah, the base is almost finished, but yeah, there are still many things to do.
Couple of people, not on this channel, but a couple of people asked that is this Gigabay is the same size as the Florida one, and I
No,
remembered that the Florida one is gonna be bigger.
yeah,
You don't
maybe
need the
around,
numbers.
yeah,
I can see
but
that you're searching
yeah.
for it, but it's just bigger.
Now, I was just thinking about, because that was an answer from myself last week, back to
Yeah, I
last.
know, I know, I know, I know. Hmm.
So yeah, one of our viewers was asking about the base, but I don't remember now the correct
No, that's
numbers.
fine.
But
That's fine, but it's bigger.
the
For
Florida one is
sure. So
bigger.
it's not
That's for sure.
identical in terms of
Yeah.
size. The other one is bigger. Okay, we're just gonna say wave high to pad one.
Hmm.
Um, it's still looking nice. It's getting prepared for flight 11. We're gonna come back to the flight 11 topic very soon, but let's just say what's going on at pad two because it's looking gorgeous, to be honest.
Yeah. it looks like a normal and a regular launch pad,
Yeah.
as it should look like. So yeah, again we have to just compare the weekly photos and we can see the progress. So
Beautiful.
which
Beautiful.
is a very good point that these panels or this covering is getting along nicely. So which shows that they are almost finished with the inside or inner um, infrastructure.
Interior.
So the different pipes and valves and everything it's needed there. So it's a good point, and indeed it shows that they are almost finishing. And yeah, the maybe the last big piece will be the ship QD arm, which is still under construction at the Sanchez side, but yeah, it's coming along as well. So I don't want to estimate which when will be it's entirely ready, but anyway, because there is no hardware still, and there will be some months where there won't be any hardware to test. They have still time to finish the launchpad itself.
Okay. Right. Let's just leapfrog to Florida.
Sorry, just one more, maybe one more important thing about the Pad 1,
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm,
many viewer asking about the Flight 11.
mm-hmm.
So before we are just moving on Florida, then
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we don't have any exact date, but there is only one um, marine mariner how to say it,
Warning.
warning. Thank you, which shows yeah mariner notice for mariners. Thank you, and yeah, it shows October the 13th, which is the earliest date currently. So if we are lucky, we can see a new and the last V2 Starship launch in 2 weeks. But it's yeah again it's the earliest date.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So
Let's hope it's not gonna slip any further.
yeah, the main thing is on ship 38's preparation and mainly on the heat shield. So they have still lots of things to do on the heat shield. So actually that's the main point, and they are focusing pretty much on this one now.
To be fair, even if if it's gonna slip, it makes no difference in terms of what's happening with with the third generation Starship, because they are preparing those, and the flight of the third generation depends on how quickly they can finish the first and second stages from that generation, and also pet 2. So
Yeah,
that's completely independent from flight 11, because it's different hardwares and it's using pet 1. So
and
they will fly it whenever they fly it, and same
if
applies
you
to the third generation.
and if you're asking me, and if I want to be frank,
Be Frank. It's no David anymore. It's Frank
maybe
here with us.
maybe Artemis 2 will be the first, so that will happen first or before
Sooner
flight
than
12. Yeah,
really?
currently I think so, because the hardwares are still now nowhere. So
Uh-huh.
the ship 39's nose cone is still under construction itself. There won't not no stacking has happened. The booster is still in two pieces at least. And if we think about the previous constructions of the ships, it took minimum 5 months, the whole stacking options and or process. So if the nose cone is still under construction, and if we are counting at least 5 months, if not more, then we are arriving at least in February, if not March. That's why I'm thinking so that Artemis
Hmm.
2 will happen prior or before or
I
earlier
mean,
than
if it
yeah.
happens, yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
because NASA aiming currently Artemis 2 very beginning of February, which is a very nice thing, of course. But
Hmm.
yeah, I watched. It's just maybe an interesting thing I wanted to mention. But anyway, we can move to Florida.
Well, before we move to Florida, we've got a very nice render from James Wan, and that was shared by Chris Hadfield, the astronaut with mustache, and that actually looks pretty tidy. I think everybody would be happy to see that. No, it's no zooming in. There's no point. But that's the first orbital. Okay, it's not gonna look like this, or at least as
It's
we
kind
know.
of the
But
shuttle windows, right?
yeah, yeah, kind of, yeah. But that's gonna be super, super nice whenever
Yeah.
this comes alive. So hell yeah, we are waiting for that. Okay, so Florida. We begin with some satellite photos from Florida. This is 39A. On the right, you can see the construction. There
Mhm.
are some cool stuff happening with the pad, but this is much earlier, isn't it? Or is it not? I think this
Yeah,
is.
because the flame trench is almost nowhere, but until now
Oh,
they
sorry.
yeah, there
Okay,
is
let me
no
see.
date on it, right?
Yeah, this is
So
this is this is more. Yeah, this is more
yeah,
recent. Yeah.
that's
Okay, sorry.
that's much more recent. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the flame trench is almost done or almost finished, and yeah, if we were talking about the Starbase Gigabay pace, then we have to talk about the launchpad construction pace at Florida. So they are doing very well and very good job because the flame trench was nowhere in I don't know 3 or 4 months back in 3 or 4 months, and now it's almost finished. So what we have seen on weekend that they have installed the two biggest part of the bottom side of the trench. I mean these flame buckets, uh, which consists from many pipes or yeah I can call them pipes. They and yeah they running through water within these big parts, and which is a good point because it shows if we are thinking about the Starbase construction that we are not very far from the OLM installation. So this big rectangular part of the entire launch pad. So they have installed these two big launch, but flame trench buckets. So the next big piece will be the OLM itself.
Hmm. Cool. We've got some photos again from NASA space flights from these hardwares. So now that you mentioned the launch pad, let's begin with that. It's
Hmm.
still under this tent. It's not an onion tent. It's similar to an onion tent, but it's under that. So that's being constructed. It's a similar process than what they were doing at Starbase. Yeah, as David said, they are proceeding extremely well.
Hmm.
And then with the Gigabay, I go back to the satellite photo. So you can see this is the new Gigabay area. Well, this is the new site, and then this is the Gigabay here.
Yeah,
And
just look at it. So the
yeah,
Gigabay won't be a very small building itself, but if you just compare to the very big and cleaned area, just
yeah,
enormous.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then they did some close-up photos as well, and yeah, it's coming together pretty damn nicely.
Yeah, finally, new phase have has come, which means that the base is already finished. I mean, the concrete pouring, which we have seen at Starbase, so they are in a good pace as well. So they started to raise the first columns. I don't know why here exactly at the middle of the building, but again, it's not our business. So
God's
we
ways are mysterious.
yeah we're just happy to see this big progress, and
Indeed.
yeah the main part is still to go. I mean the structure of the Gigabay, but anyway it's good to see that they started to raise the first columns and the first tower cranes as well. So again, it's under question why the one or two pieces are black and the other two pieces are white. So
Hmm.
again, we don't know the answer of them. But anyway, they started to raise these ones, which is a quite nice process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one more thing. maybe this one here, this photo. So this is again an aerial photo from the of the process as they were placing the somebody just called it in the chat booster bidet.
Yeah,
I like
Zach
it.
Gordon used to call this system like that.
I like it.
Booster bidet system, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, you can see the crane and it's lowering the what was it called, the flame bucket.
Flame bucket,
Yeah,
yes.
bucket. Okay. Yeah. All right. I think we are kind of done with Florida as well, with the flash news. The reason why we are trying to not rush a bit, but like not being scattered in terms of our thoughts is because we need to leave sharp at 45. So when we need to finish, we want to finish all the important stuff that we want to talk about. But in the meantime, before we turn on to the other topics, hi everyone who's just joined us. If you like what we do, just smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, just tell us if you have any questions in the chat, and we try to answer those questions. All right. Big news regarding, well, I think I could call it our favorite spacecraft or to be spacecraft, which it looks like, well, it's definitely not become well, something that's coming true. It's so we were expecting this amazing Dream Chaser to come online. Well, this year. I mean, we've been expecting it to come online quite a while ago, but it just didn't. And I think this, I mean, apart from the slipping dates, it really had a big chance to 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 have its maiden flight. Sorry, this year, and we just got a terrible news that
Hmm.
no way, and not even 26, which is appalling. So what's the reason for that?
Yeah, so if I had to just summarize in two words this whole topic, maybe I would say this unfulfilled dream. So it's not anymore Dream Chaser, but Dreams Keeper maybe.
It's an
But
unfulfilled dream chaser.
yeah, so it's very terrible and it's very sad because it was quite a
Yeah,
promising vehicle.
it's
And I don't want to talk about in the past because maybe that will be a realistic someday, but which was the purpose of it originally? Maybe it won't happen at all until the ISS is on orbit.
yeah.
Um, because yeah, it began quite promising. Again, I can say this. So yeah, I mean, I didn't know what's going on in the voice. So yeah, so actually the origins of the Dream Chaser is back on the actually of the HL20 lifting body design from the 80s and 90s. So and it was a quite a potential space plane, and interestingly, it was developed or just thinking out as a crew transportation vehicle, and after it was redesigned as a cargo vehicle. Maybe one day it could transport crews as well, and of course it was a part of the NASA's commercial crew program back in the early 2010s years. So they so NASA aimed to develop this private spacecraft to carry astronauts to international space stations, besides Dragon and the Starliner. But unfortunately, it never happened because Boeing and SpaceX were the winners in 2014, and after that the CRS-2 contract was coming up, which was already a cargo delivery contract to the ISS, but it was still in focus of the NASA guys. And back then it was Sierra Nevada Corporation, and they started to develop this nice vehicle, which could carry around 5,500 kilograms, so 5.5 tons cargo to the ISS and return almost 2 tons, should have been quite nice performance. And
And it can land on a strip. This is,
yeah,
again, since the space shuttle era, we didn't have anything that doesn't land on water
yeah.
or in the middle of the desert, but it comes back to actually KSCs. I think it's such a sad thing that it's not going forward.
So yeah, so Sierra Nevada wasn't focusing for this capsule um, design, but mainly like a mini shuttle. So, and that's why it was quite promising, and that's why it's quite sad that it seems that at least it won't launch to the ISS at all, never. So the first test flight should have been already an ISS cargo mission. Maybe if I'm correct, the first date was around 2021, then 2022, then 23, then 24, then 25, and we are now currently that on one hand there won't be any launch at least or no earlier than end of 2026, and it won't be anymore an ISS cargo mission, but only a free flyer, so a demonstration flight. And it's quite sad because the first plans were back to 2010. So what did actually Sierra Nevada or nowadays Sierra Space doing in 15 years? So maybe this is a common question is raised nowadays. So what's going on? I know these space industry plans are not so strict, or they kind of delaying, but it's a different thing that maybe in 15 years nothing is happening and they just changing all the time the plans, which never shows a good point. At least from my side, I think so.
But to be honest, the fact that it was slipping, I kind of get it. You know, it happens. Yeah, this is it. But my problem is that this year they were so close, and the news we heard from from Sierra Space, that how they are gearing up for the actual launch of this rocket, sorry, this aircraft, spacecraft, and with ULA, with Vulcan. Yeah, it was with Vulcan.
Yeah.
That this, I think, the second flight of Vulcan
Hmm.
was supposed to happen with this spacecraft,
In
and
24,
then
yes.
and then something happened. Something strange kept happening, and it just no news, really.
Hmm.
And I don't know what went wrong, but I think what's behind the story it's so problematic that when they can actually finish the spacecraft, and because of its problems they are just running out of time, because the time is ticking in terms of the ISS, and they supposed to do 7 flights to the ISS, seven
Yeah.
cargo flights, but there will be no time left enough
Mm.
to actually fulfill this. And I think NASA just said, sorry guys, you had your chance, but you keep on slipping and slipping and slipping, and now we're just running out of options. We're just not gonna need you for that much, or maybe nothing, because they just can't use their services. Which is strange, because if you look at it, it's actually a spacecraft, and it has the shooting star module or part of it. And together they are actually super duper capable. They can do free fly, and they can conduct science experiments even after they are undocking from the space station, or they just flying alone. So it's so capable, and this should have happened, and I'm super sad that it's not happening. Is there any hope for Dream Chaser? I think yes. In the future, I mean, we all know that there are new space stations coming up. Um, it's kind of weird that you can see two troubled spacecraft on the both end of the orbital reef space station, which is again is a big question mark because we don't hear much about this either, just big plans. But if that goes ahead, I can imagine that Dream Chaser can supply it with cargo, and I really hope one day it will carry human beings as well. I really hope.
Yes. So if we think about ISS and what is the fate of it, so there are around 5 years left of its life plan, and that's why you are mentioning, and it's totally right that actually there is no more time to fulfill and conduct these 7 cargo missions, because there are still the Cargo Dragon missions. There are the hopefully the Cygnus XL missions. Hopefully, the new Japanese cargo spacecraft will be introduced still this year. The HTVX, if I'm correct.
Yep.
So there are 3 other options, and of course from Russian side, the Progress cargo spacecrafts. So maybe there is no more need to on Dream Chaser. And you mentioned also the Unity Launch Alliance Vulcan Centaur rocket, which is another other how to say factor. Maybe it was playing in this kind of long how to say so these latest things or latest news said that maybe there was a big mistake or big failure of ULA Vulcan, that they they wanted to aim, or they wanted to have already the Space Force certification for the second mission of the Vulcan, and it never happened. And that's why, because of ULA had to prove still that the Vulcan Centaur is can certified for these national security missions, they had to maybe change the plans, and maybe that was the
Mm-hmm.
that doomed actually the Dream Chaser as well. So
Yeah.
there are more factors, but of course the main I guess the main part we can blame, it's the Sierra Space as well, because again I the main question is, what have they done in 15 years? So
Yep.
because
Yeah.
we know that there are delays, everyone struggling with its plans, but it's okay because it's space, and space is hard, as we all know. And but the progress, and there are differences between progress and not progress.
Yep. And Jason S is saying at the chat, "Old space failed again." Um, to be honest, I think the idea of a space plane is, I wouldn't consider it old space, but how the company is conducting their their business, probably that is. And to be fair, I was just reading on X as I was collecting some photos and some information on X, and I think I bumped into an engineer who worked at the Sierra Space, and he did not have any kind words for the company, and actually he was, yeah, not too happy about it at all, and he just left the company. And I think I forgot where he works now, but yeah, I mean, this is just not nice stuff to hear. Let's hope that one day we're gonna see it. I really was hoping that this year this will happen, and when I was reading about this news, yeah. Anyway, very sad. Very sad. This could have been a very, very cool stuff to see docked to the International Space Station. Why am I saying seeing? Why am I saying to see this docked to the International Space Station? Is because our next topic is related to Dragon. And before I go on to that, I show you a video, which is, I hope it will blow your mind as well. I just put it on full screen. So this is a short video from Charlene Giroux, and she is actually an International Space Station photographer. This particular one, so this is a video and I will run it. So this is the raw footage of her taking photos of the International Space Station, and you can see the Dragon just sticking out just right here. That's the Dragon that we're going to talk about. And the cool stuff about this particular one is that so when she is taking photos, ground photos of the International Space Station, you can see that the Dragon is pointing towards 9 o'clock. And this is usually the correct setting. So that's the direction of travel. So it's traveling from right to left, and so this is the orientation, and this is the normal orientation. But I will show you later on some photos she took when it's the other way around. And where I'm going with this, apart from her extremely beautiful photography, is that they used the Dragon to reboost the International Space Station. And for a Dragon to be able to do that, they actually had to spin the International Space Station around, and that's exactly what just happened. And it's just the coolest thing ever, I think.
Yeah, so on the first place, it's a quite kind of a good thing that US or mainly NASA has the capability to reboost the ISS. I know the Cygnus spacecraft could do this job as well, besides the Russian Progress spacecraft.
I've
But
got a photo of that, at least a render. This is how it looks like when a Cygnus is reboosting the ISS. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have to reorientate the ISS anyway, right? If I'm correct, because the Cygnuses are docked or birthed
Yeah. To
from the nadir point, right? Or
Yeah.
from nadir direction.
Yeah. So it's 90 degrees tilted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the dragons either focusing or facing to the forward direction or to zenith. So they have to reorientate the ISS again if they doing this dragon reboosting. So yeah, that was the actually the first time they want, or it was planned, because in 2024 there was already a demo reboost process, but that was the first time it was planned with the Dragon. So the CRS 33 was launched with this purpose originally to reboost the ISS. So they changed or they redesigned a bit the Dragon's trunk. So many of so-called trunk Dracos were installed into the trunk. That's how the name came. So yeah, that's the last year demo reboost, if I'm correct. Which was this photo was made by
Oh yeah,
Don
sorry.
Pettit.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. No. This is the early one. I
Yeah,
think this is from
that's from 24. Yeah, that was the demo reboost. And you can see the original or the main Dracos were used for this demonstration. But now there are new so-called trunk Dracos again. So, and the first try was on first day, and it was aborted
hold on,
because
just before we go forward.
Okay.
So it's very important to understand. So this is the layout of the ISS from the side, and when the first one with CRS 31 mission, they were just demonstrating the reboost. You can see actually it's marked on the left hand side that that when they use the reboost, a kind of I will draw it on the photo. So this is how these thrusters were working, but it's not really efficient because that's supposed to point more towards the back. So something like this. Well, almost. Yeah, something like this. So that was just a demonstration to see that if they can push a tiny bit, change a
Mhm.
little bit on the orbital velocity, and they did it, I think, with a tiny bit, not a lot, just a bit. Maybe they just raised about a half a kilometer the
Mhm.
altitude of the ISS, but the demonstration was perfect, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's why they could perform now the first planned
Hmm.
reboost operation with the CRS-33. And yeah, it started as an original process, but yeah, it should have been. I'm just looking for the data or infos there. It should have been 19 minutes 22 seconds planned burn time, but after 3 minutes 45 seconds, it was aborted because of swapping of the tanks wasn't as planned. So they wanted to save as many propellant as possible because the ground operation saw that something is not okay with the propellant tanks, and that's why they didn't want to continue. And yeah, they had to check every systems. And actually on Friday they attempted on the second time, and everything went just smooth and fine, so it wasn't a big trouble. But of course the news were about this first attempt, that the reboost operation had to abort it. And yeah, this kind of negative or not breaking news, but these negative news are all the time more interesting than than the planned news or planned progresses. So that's why we had this information about this aborted attempt.
To be honest, you know what? Yes, you're right, but just to balance it out, so NASA has a blog. It's nasa.gov/blogs, and there you can see that they actually announced that they had to abort the reboost, but since there is no news about a successful reboost, so it's not like they actually wrote about it and announced it and nobody else is doing it because it's a good news, but they themselves didn't really write about it, which is pretty hard for me to understand because that was a successful reboost. So
Yeah.
why not? Why? Okay, it was weekend, but today is Monday, and I'm surprised that it's still not on. So I don't really get it.
It's
Anyway,
kind of strange, but
yeah,
they are mainly focusing on Artemis
yeah,
because
probably,
the main
probably.
topic was Artemis 2 preparations last week, so
No, but they
everyone
don't.
just focused on that.
But there is no news on about that either. So I don't really understand why not. Anyway, yeah, they are
So
too
yeah,
busy.
just summarizing, that's all. There was a second attempt on Friday, and everything went smooth, and the Draco thrusters worked for 15 minutes, and yeah, the reboost maneuver was done, and yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So everyone is happy, everything is all right. There was no emergency at all, neither of ISS either nor for the crew. So everyone was safe. Uh, so yeah, nothing to
Okay.
add.
No, I just didn't want to interrupt you again.
No, 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 no,
Um,
thanks.
I really like the photo as the that particular. I don't know if it's one or two Draco thrusters are actually in action. This is the only photo we have when they actually separated the dragon. Or hold on, no, that was shown before the launch, but just before the launch,
Yeah.
and we did not see exactly how they build this new setup, the trunk Draco. This
Hmm.
is how you called it, the
Yeah,
trunk
Trang
Draco.
Draco.
Yeah, so these are the propellant tanks, and I don't know where the Draco thruster is, to be honest. Probably it's on the side. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it's actually a pretty cool stuff when they are doing a reboost. This is when Soyuz was doing the orbital reboost. It's a pretty.
Progress.
What did I say?
Soyuz. Almost
Soyuz?
the same, but
Almost the same, but not. Yes.
yeah,
By the way, the Soyuz is capable of doing that in case of emergency.
yeah,
But
that's right.
yes, you're absolutely right. This is a Progress cargo spacecraft. So that looks actually pretty cool. And as I promised, so Charlene's photo. So this is the normal layout. This is how the ISS in a normal what is it called orientation.
Orientation.
So it's traveling from right towards the left, but just I think she had a flyby not just shortly before, and you can see the actually the progress at the end that the Zvezda module is facing forward and the Dragon is at the back, of course, because this is how they can do the reignition. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, usually. So this is the travel of direction. I can't really draw, and this is how they do the reboost with the Dragon. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I urge you to look up ISS photography. I myself an International Space Station photographer, but I don't do nowhere near as good photography as Charlene is doing from the cloudy England. So that's actually fantastic, and obviously the details on the Dragon is just staggering, really. Yeah.
Was it the first time somebody could catch this orientation of the ISS
Um,
that Progress is facing forward and Dragon backward, or
Actually not. But she was the one who caught it for the first time. So I am going to do a tiny bit of self promotion here because I run a website called Space Station Guys, and this is actually there's an article here about her discovery. Apparently, Tibor Kapu, our Hungarian astronaut, shared with us that this is a quite common thing. Then they spin around the space station, so it's still having the cupola facing down towards the Earth. So the orientation in that term is the same, but they just spin it around 180 degrees. And she just noticed she always assembles the camera in the same way. And on this GIF, this animation, you will see a star just whoop buzzing. You see, it just went by. And that's when she noticed that that's the direction of travel towards sort of 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then a star just skimmed past that way. And she was like, "Hold on for a second, how is this possible? The Dragon should face forward and Zvezda should face backwards, but that wasn't the case." So she kind of made a bit of a noise about that noise, and then that's just again an animation what she took. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I just thought I'm gonna share it because it's a fun fact. Yeah,
it's nice catch.
it is. It is indeed. Okay, it's your call if you want to say a couple of words about the astronauts.
Yeah, just very quick, yeah,
Okay.
because that's a kind of interesting news as well
Indeed.
as our last topic for today. So yeah, back to last Monday, a new NASA astronaut class was introduced, and maybe it's not a very big news in original, but we have two members in the of the 10 members, which are a bit more interesting to talk about them. Of course, first is Anna Menon, who were a team member with Jared Isaacman and the two others back to 2024, the Polaris Dawn mission. So she's actually an astronaut already, but she wanted to join to NASA, and now she is a candidate. However, she is already an astronaut, so that's maybe, if I'm correct, that's the first time if somebody when somebody is a astronaut candidate while she is an astronaut already. So I don't know how this decision came, but at least she can work now with her husband, because her husband is a NASA astronaut as well. So yeah, they will work on the same workplace. Maybe it's not the best option, but they know better than me. So yeah, so yeah, she was a part of Polaris Dawn, and yeah, maybe you all remember this very interesting and very specific mission, which was a dream of
Iconic.
Jared Isaacman,
Mhm.
and yeah, it contained a lot of firsts. So I don't want to make a list now because we are in short of time. So she's the first one I want to mention, and the second one is or was a SpaceX guy as well, Yuri Kubo. He was launch director of SpaceX, and and he worked also, or mainly in case of Star Shield missions. So yeah, it's quite interesting that somebody moved from SpaceX to NASA because maybe they
Two
used
of them.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, they used to do backwards. So mainly the guys are going to SpaceX, not going from SpaceX to a different company, or mainly for NASA or to NASA. But yeah, they made this decision, and of course we wish nothing but good luck for them. And yes, they were introduced by Sean Duffy, our famous famous NASA
Sean
kind
who?
of administrator, or acting administrator. He introduced them as maybe the first Mars astronauts. And
Yeah,
again, I
possibly.
don't want to go into details, and don't want to debate with this with this introduction. Who knows? So maybe one of them will be the first master astronaut, and of course they will part of the Artemis program. So not everyone, but I guess many of them will or can fly one day to the moon at least. And yeah, Mars is another question, but yeah, a new astronaut class was introduced, and it's
Hmm.
almost a good thing.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Okay, we really hope that you like this episode. We try to bring you some cool stuff, some interesting information, not just about Starship, but sometimes when we are short of Starship news, we try to fill our program with something else. Similarly to how Felix is doing the Tuesdays, Fridays shows, which we highly recommend you to watch because this is what this channel is all about, space news, and I think nobody can do that better than Felix. So definitely stay tuned. Smash the like button in here and in general because that's a kind of support that costs you nothing but just a click. And there's a 24/7 stream that you can watch these cameras from Starbase. So that's always a good place to go if you want to see what's going on down there. And also, yeah, just stay tuned. I think we will be back at some shape or form next Monday. So we'll be definitely we will be back just like Arnie, and yeah, let's hope that
And now
finally
get to the chopper.
get to the chopper. Yeah, indeed. So let's hope that we're gonna know more about Flight 11 next week. Probably we're gonna see a booster on Pad 1.
Yes. Yeah. So thanks for having us again, and thanks for your attention, and see you next time. And have a
Indeed.
nice week.
Have a lovely week. Take care, guys. See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.